Good evening.
So in your Bibles today, I'm going to have you guys turn to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1. And you think, how did you get something from Habakkuk? Well, if every word of God in the Bible is living, then you should be able to get it from anywhere. I'm going to start reading in verse 1, even though you guys aren't there yet, because I have a lot of reading to know. I got 600 seconds. Verse 1 says, "The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see, O Lord, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. Why dost thou show me iniquity, and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violences are before me, and there are that raise up strife and contention. Therefore the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. Behold ye among the heathen, and regard, and wonder marvelously. For I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you. For lo, I raise the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land, to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. They are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall precede themselves." And I'm in verse 8. "Their horses are also swifter than the leopards, and more fierce than the evening wolves, and their horsemen shall spread among themselves." I'm going to skip down to verse 12. "Art thou not from everlasting, O Lord my God, my Holy One? We shall not die, O Lord. Thou hast ordained them from judgment, and Almighty God, thou hast established them from the correction." I'm going to skip to chapter 2, verse 1. "I will stand upon my watch, and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer, and when I am reproved. The Lord answered me and said, Write up the vision, and make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Through it tarry, and wait for it. Be sure, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live this by faith." Let's pray. Dear Lord, I thank you for this day, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity to preach, Lord. Just help me to stay focused, Lord, and just say what you'd have me to say, Lord, and if this be from you, Lord, have everybody know it, Lord, and Lord, I just thank you for this day. In Jesus' name, amen. Just a little history about Habakkuk. Habakkuk is one of 8 minor prophets in the Bible. He's the 8th of 12 sequential prophets. He's right now in the land. He's from Judah and standing in his home country, dumbfounded by all the wickedness that has gone on in Israel. And they've shown that in verses 1 through 4, saying the law is slack, the judgment doth never go forth. I'm going to take this situation right now and apply it to like today in the United States. I mean, you got same-sex marriage, you got idolatry going on. I mean, with the whole sports thing, and I'm involved in that. I mean, I fall under that category too. I sometimes have a little idolatry over the Word of God. You've got the abortion. I could go on for hours. You've got sin abounding in this country, and also with the coronavirus thing, GCC just announced today that they were shutting down. And that kind of upset me a little bit, because now it's going to make a lot more work for the students that go there and all the schools that are shut down. God uses prophets in the Bible. I'm just going to show this right here. That he uses prophets not only to tell people in the Bible that there's a message from God, but also uses prophets to show what separates them from everybody else. I'm going to look at 3 character traits of Habakkuk in the verses that I read that separated him from everybody else. My first point is in verses 1 through 2. It says he had a burden, which Habakkuk the prophet did see, and says, "O Lord, how long shall I cry?" He had a prayer life. There are many things that none of us can control, and that he couldn't control. He couldn't control the sin that was in Israel. He had just come, and he's just dumbfounded by it. Neither can we control all the sin that's in America. But if we have a prayer life, we can make a change. He went to the one who controlled it all. And if we do the same, he is the one that controls it all. I mean, how many times do we go to our friends and say, "Man, isn't that horrible that all the colleges shut down and everything? Isn't it horrible about same-sex marriage and everything, like 8 years ago, I think it was. Before we go to the Bible, just go, oh Lord, what has happened to our country? Oh Lord, how long shall I cry? And then my second point is, in verses 12 through 13, it says, art thou not thou from everlasting, O Lord my God, mine Holy One? This shows that he recognizes God. And in verse 13 it says, thou art of purer eyes than to behold evil, thou canst look upon iniquity. Wherefore lookest thou upon them that deal treacherously? And holdest the tongue, and the wicked devoureth the man that is more righteous than he? He knew his God. And if some of you don't know your God, you can know tonight. If it takes a trial in your life to recognize, now if you already know God, and you have a close relationship with Him, and you already know your God, but if it takes a trial to recognize it, I mean, if life's going fine for you, then all of a sudden a trial goes up, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you start talking to God after 8 months. I mean, I would check with your relationship with God a little bit, because Habakkuk had a relationship with God, and he wanted God to work through him to make a change in Israel. I mean, he was burdened. It says the burden which Habakkuk, the prophet, did see. If our life's ambition is to live for him, we need an active relationship with him. And my third point is in chapter 2, verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch, and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. He stood upon his watch. In the midst of his situation, he made a commitment to stand. Some of us need to make a commitment to stand. And so, all of us do. Even me included, I need this message. Sometimes you gotta just say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna do this or this or that. And sometimes standing up hurts, but it's supposed to happen. Standing up on your watch also means Habakkuk was aware of his surroundings. If you're aware of your surroundings, you'll notice sin around you. At work, I see sin around me all the time. I smell it in the weed. I smell it I see it with just everything that's going on around me, just the culture and everything. I see it out in college, and I'm sure everyone does too. But if we're just aware of our surroundings, it will draw us closer to God if we handle it correctly. Amen. Are you aware? If you're spiritually aware, it will draw you. And so, I hope someone other than me needs this, because I certainly did. And in my conclusion, I just want to leave you with 3 questions. How is your prayer life? Because I need to work on mine. Is He your God? In both bad and good? And are you standing? Thank you.
Good, Bob.
Good.
Let's stand up. We're going to sing together. Turn to number 697.